Praise the Lord. You're all welcome on this TV broadcast brought to you by Christian Innovation Business Network. This is Brother Steven Sesanga. You can always follow me on our Facebook page, Christian Innovation Business Network. Also follow our YouTube channel, that is Steven Sesanga. We've been talking about the 10 commandments of money, and even today I want to finish with the very last one, and that is thy money shall make thy money. In other words, we are talking about investment. Every time you are talking about investment, you are putting your money to work. Go with me to Luke chapter 19 from verse 11 or 12. It talks about a certain nobleman who went in a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. You have to know that in the entire Bible, probably Jesus talks more about business more than any other person. The other person who also talks about business is King Solomon. So these two individuals or two characters understood business. In fact, it's amazing that a third of the four Gospels of the entire teachings of Christ, he is using business to illustrate the kingdom. He says he went in a far country. When you look at that, we want to deduce. When you were in your university, they would give you a case study. So I want us to use Luke 19 from the 12th verse as a case study in understanding certain business principles, especially concerning investment. I would presume that this man was probably dealing in international business among various countries. That possibility is there. What do you think? Let me know. Verse 13, he called his servants, 10 servants, and delivered them 10 pounds. And he said unto them, occupy till I come. So he gave them an investment. And he also gave them what we call a seed capital. So we have defined our investment as a commitment of resources or of money to achieve a benefit in future. So look at an investment. When you are going into business, you expect a return. True? You expect a profit. Whatever you call it, you expect an increase in what you have invested. So I want to quote Benjamin Franklin, who said that investment will always pay the best interest. So this brings us to an understanding that whenever you make an investment, you expect to get a return. You expect to get an interest. Could be 10%, could be 20%, whatsoever. Now, we have to also deduce that this international businessman talked about in Luke 19 probably had an idea, a business idea. But it looks in this scenario that he had 10 ideas, and therefore he gave £1 to each investment broker. You can call the individuals that he gave £1 to individuals who were going to assist him to make investment in various markets. And therefore, this investor gave £1 to various investments. And when we look at this verse, he is saying, occupy till I come. In other words, the Lord was showing us that God is in the business of making returns, of making profits. God himself in heaven doesn't want resources to be saved. You know, you just put your money in the bank earning no interest. He wants efficiency. He wants effective use of resources. And when we look at this, he gave them a seed capital. Probably these individuals were well versed in knowledge, and they had gained knowledge in various fields. What are we seeing here? We are seeing the component of diversification. Diversification is one of an investment strategy of spreading risk. You want to invest in various sectors so that, well knowing that various sectors have, different return on capital. And as a result, you are spreading risk. Now, the other issue is when we talk about risk, we have to understand that risk and return on any investment are correlated. They are cousins. You cannot have a profit without any risk. And we will later find out that the higher the risk, the higher the return, and vice versa. So we are seeing that the master, who is the investor, is not keeping his money in the bank. That is not his intention. He wants money to be put to work. He wants, even though he's not working himself, he wants the money to work for him so that it will give him a retained profit. It will give him a return so that he will grow his equity. Verse 14. But his citizens hated him and sent a message after him saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. So you are also seeing risk. We know very well that there is nothing you are going to do without risk. Whenever you are talking about business, there is risk. Whenever you are talking about getting a profit, there are resistances. We shall also come to that. Now, I don't know, the investment brokers wanted to, they wanted not to pay back, because this specifically talks about stewardship. But among these, in verse 15, it came to pass that when he was returned, having received a kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. So he is talking about a business. We know very well when you are talking about business investments, it could be investment in knowledge, and these are specifically advisory. individuals who are well knowledgeable. You may not necessarily make business yourself, but you can put your money to individuals who are in the business of using other people's money to invest, and then they get a percentage, a commission. So usually there is investment in knowledge, and these are usually called investment advisors. They have more information than you. We know very well in Proverbs 4:7, Solomon says, wisdom is the principal thing, and in all you're getting, get understanding. All these are tools that you are going to use in business. You cannot do successful business unless you aim in investing in knowledge. You need to identify the right sectors, the right kind of business. And one of the things I want to bring to your attention is always smile. Have an expectation that you're going to get a return. And you can literally see when the master is calling a certain group of individuals, he wants to ask them about the accountability. How did they use well their resources? The resource of time. Time is a resource. So when you smile, you cannot obtain a profit and you don't smile. Every time you do business and you get a return, you will always smile. So the ones who always smile will always get a profit. They are happy to see their master because they have good news. So in business, the number one thing that you always need to know is that people want to see the way you smile. You know, if you have given someone money to trade on your behalf, and you know they are welcoming you in their office, they are smiling, you know, they're saying we wanted to reach out to you, you have already the expectation that my money has already made a profit. I have not put money to waste. Literally, this one says, you gave me £1, that is verse 16. The first one saying, Lord, thy pound has gained 10 pounds. Wow. You have 1,000%. That is the profit, the return on that investment. That is so good, and that is good stewardship. This man put £1 to work. Verse 17, he said unto him, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in the little, thou have authority over 10 cities. So what are we learning here? We are seeing time, that money or investment is subject to time. Capital will grow through the vehicle of investment. And one of the components there brings us to what we call the time value of money. The time value of money. So time becomes a big factor. We don't know how many years the master has taken without returning, but we know that the investment brokers, who are the servants, have been affected by the entity of time. Everything is affected by time, you know that. Even in investment, time will bring about a difference. Now, One of the main elements as to why we have to invest is because gradually in almost all businesses, you will make an average return. You will make an average profit. Some businesses may not do well, but when we look at growth on how businesses have been performing, literally on average, you will make a profit if you keep in. And as a result, time becomes a major factor of investment. In Jesus' teachings, he is talking about investments, and specifically he's talking about three factors: time, talents, and treasure. They call them the 3 T's. These affect investments. Your investment is your treasure. Your investment in yourself is your talent. And these are affected by time. So you will need time to develop talent, and then the outcome will be a treasure. So this is all the element of stewardship. You have to provide accountability of how you are using the talents given to you. Each one of us has a talent. Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, they have utilized their talents in football. But every time they need to appear on the football pitch for training, they just don't sleep saying that we were already given these talents. No, they put them to work. They sharpen the talents. Each one of us, you just don't sit around and you look around. Proverbs 13 verse 4, it says, the soul of the sluggard desireth and has nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. Proverbs 22 verse 29 says, thou seest a man who is diligent in his work, he will sit before kings. So it is now a principle we are realizing that hard work, smart working pays. Whenever you put your investment, like the master in Luke 19, at least out of the 10 investments, we are sure some performed well and others did not perform well. But specifically here, we are realizing the power of compounding interest. So why do we encourage investment? Is because every time you put your seed capital into the ground being the market, your money will get a return. Your money will increase. And as a result, your investment will harness the benefits of compounding interest. Albert Einstein called compounding interest the 8th wonder of the world, the greatest math discovery of all time. Why? Every time you put your money into business, you expect to get a return. You expect to get an increase. Now, I want to talk about compound interest. We have what we call simple interest and compound interest. Now, compound interest is simply your principal times the interest times time. We have said time affects everything. So your investment is going to be affected by time. Now, we see that another servant comes and he says, that is verse 18, the second came saying, Lord, thy pound has gained 5 pounds. So these are only 2 investments. They are already producing 15 times the investment they had obtained. Now, he says, likewise, be thou also over 5 cities. Verse 20, and another came saying, Lord, behold, here is your pound, which I have kept, laid up in a napkin. So, what do we learn here? Zero risk means zero return. That is the first thing. Hence, the loss in value of capital due to inflation and other factors. Now, when we talk about the time value of money, it is something that you need to know that $1 today in 2023 is not going to have the same amount of value 10 years later in 2033. Why? Because money loses value over time. That is something that you are going to, those of you who are in business already know. It is affected by inflation. We know that inflation is the persistence increase in what? In prices. So generally, if you were buying this phone and this phone costs $10, it is probable that 10 years later, it is going to cost less. So it may cost less or it may cost more. But what we know is that if you have $10, which is about 37,000, today you can purchase something using that money, but 10 years later, $10 will be worthless. It would have lost value. Why? Because of other factors. Interest rates are changing negatively. Inflation is always skyrocketing through the roof. That's why many individuals, many businesses are suffering. Why? Because production costs have gone up. The cost per unit of producing a good is increasing year by year. And as a result, that means that the prices of goods are increasing. About 10 years ago, you could easily obtain a car at about $5,000 or $3,000. You could easily go in the bond and get that car second used. But now that cost has doubled. You need almost $10,000, and this is not even 10 years, about 5 years ago. Why? Taxes are going up, and the cost of doing business is thrown to you, the consumer. So that means that if you are not increasing your income through investment, or if you're not increasing your income through your employer giving you a higher salary, then that means that your cost of living is going down. So you look at this, that how do you build capital? He is saying, I wish I had put my money into the bank, so that the bank will, my money will compound itself through interest. Even though that is not the best thing, saving, because it is risk averse, you're getting less return as a result of not incurring any risk. And he is saying, my money would have compounded as a result of putting it in the bank. If the bank is giving you about 1% and you put 1 million, that is good. 10,000. 1 million gives you a very small return. But this gentleman, he is saying, I feared, because thou art a hard man. Thou takest up, thou layeth not down, and reapeth that thou did not sow. He is talking about reversing the laws of sowing and reaping. Praise the Lord. So one of the things that are going to affect your investment is going to be time, and you are also going to realize that no pain, no gain. Without you not incurring any risk, you are not going to get any far in life. Praise the Lord. Always reach out to our Facebook page, Christian Innovation Business Network, and our YouTube page, Stephen Sesanga. When you see these videos, always, subscribe and share. Always share with others. Love you all. God bless you.